Is it go? Is it coming? Coming? Hey, it's me, J.Evans, and it is time to talk the talk. And today I have my special guest, Lil Dave, with me. Lil Dave, what's going on?
Absolutely nothing. Just ready to talk the talk.
We are about to talk the talk. So let me tell y'all what we are getting into. This is Sizzling Sunday, where we do a recap of the week, and we even touch on some things that we didn't touch on throughout the week. Today, we're talking about Talib Kweli. He did a video entitled Exposing Jaguar Wright. So we're going to touch on that. We're going to talk about LisaRaye and DaBrat. Now, Dave is the one that gave me the scoop on that. And we're going to talk about the presidential debate, 45 and the coronavirus. And then I'm going to do a review on a LaBelle album. So, Little Dave, you ready to roll into this stuff?
Let's get it.
Okay, so before I roll into it, let me give this disclaimer to you and yours. All gossip and entertainment topics are alleged and allegedly. They are strictly for gossip and entertainment purposes. So don't come for me saying, oh, J.Evans, I'm going to sue you, because I'm going to say allegedly, because the only thing I own outright, baby, is this little hand sanitizer that I got. So if you want to pour some and sanitize your hands, which you should have been cleaning before the pandemic, baby, you can have this little bit I got left, okay? So let's roll into this. Now, Talib Kweli posted a video yesterday on his YouTube. It's here. And the video is entitled Exposing Jaguar Wright. Now, a lot of people think Jaguar is exposing the industry. They think she's telling it like it is. Some people don't. I did a video yesterday about Tevin Campbell's response to her. You can click in that description. It's listed. If you're not one of my Apple Pies, it's my subscribers. Click the subscribe button, set your notifications. You can watch my playlist. It has all the videos there. But now Talib is stepping up to the plate. So let's get into what Talib exposed on his video. Because I believe in being fair. I talked about Jaguar and the things she said. So we're going to get into Talib's. So far, Dave, what have you been thinking about Jaguar before I get into this?
In short, she should have stayed under the rock that she's been under. That's the nicest way that I could say it. I just really feel like she's wanting to be relevant. And I must say, good job, because her name is trending that right now. So she is now relevant, but she's just relevant in the wrong way. And she's taking people down as she goes on this journey of trying to become relevant. And because of that, I say, whatever rock you crawl from under, I'm sure it's still vacant. Go back.
That's what Dave is saying. Little Dave is saying go back. So let me share with y'all Talib Kweli's thoughts on Jag. Now, in the start of his video, he said, and I'll say allegedly, because I don't know if these things are true, it's that love Jaguar that come for me, but baby, I'm just telling all sides. Before you jump on a bandwagon, listen to all sides. Talib said Jaguar is having a public mental breakdown. She has continuously slandered him, even though he has not spoke on it or addressed it. He said she was sexually aggressive towards him back in the day. He said that Jaguar does not speak for the dead, for Malik B or Andre Harrell. Those are people that she has been talking about. He also said that she apologized to Tiffany Haddish, which she did on Instagram, and not comment. Now, he got into their whole scenario. He said, as for Jaguar staying, because she alleged that one of his friends made a bet. They made a bet to sleep with her. He said that is not true. Okay? He said, what has she contributed to the Black community? The people that she attacked has contributed more. He said, as far as her protecting other women, she's not doing that. The proof on her claims are zero. She started a group protecting Black women, But he said, let's go down the line of women she's attacked. Jill Scott, Erykah Badu. Jaguar said that the song that Erykah Badu had, Booty, was in reference to her. According to Talib Kweli, he said he had seen her booty and the song is not about her, okay? So he was putting her booty on blast. He said Summer Walker. Now, as you remember, Summer Walker said the allegations that Jaguar said about her are not correct. Moni Love, she's also attacked her too. He then asked, how does her behavior protect Black women? Because that's what she's trying to do. He said, shame on people that look at this and see it as tea, okay? He then said, Jaguar posted videos of her yelling at her 18-year-old son, demanding that he meet his stepfather and disrespect his grandmother. Jaguar needs help, and she needs to stop using YouTube for likes and clickbait. Now, he then went on to talk about the relationship that she said that they also had. He said in 2000, he went on the OK Player tour. Jag was on the tour. The first day, she came into his dressing room asking for sex and wanted to have sex for the entire tour. He said he was a young man in his 20s and he agreed, even though she had a husband, and that was a mistake. And she said that she would not tell her husband. He said, Talib, the relationship lasted a week. He ended it because she was very rude and aggressive. When it came to sex, she would beg for sex and demand it. When she couldn't reach him, she would blow up his phone and bang on his hotel door. Like that Jodeci album, the show, the hotel, and the after party, when they was banging on Casey and them, though, he said Jag was banging on the door, baby. Okay? He then said he would go and stay in other women's rooms so she would not find him. What Jag was doing in him in 2000, in this year 2020, it would be sexual harassment. That's what it would be considered. He said people are saying Jag is telling her truth. He is not telling his truth. He is telling the truth. That's what Talib said. Now, he said when he stopped sleeping with her, she then told her husband, Sam, her then husband, Sam, okay, to get back at him. That's the father for her 18-year-old child. She caught Sam, according to Talib, a tranny chaser, and tried to out him. Now, Talib said that Sam then joined the tour and pulled him to the side and said it was no beef with him and he was there to work on his marriage. After Sam left the tour, according to Talib, Jag began asking him for sex again. Like that Jodeci album, knocking at your door, like Monica sing, baby. Okay. Then he said this: Jaguar is an incredible singer, performer. That's the underlying fact. He said he would still watch her shows. He thinks that she's upset because she knows how talented she is, and she feels like other people have had more success than her. Back in the day, he said Jaguar was sloppy, drunk, messy, rude, and all of those things. But him, the Roots, and Common supported her because as an artist, she's phenomenal. So he gave her props. Now, I've seen performances that she's done live here on YouTube, and I can't deny her talent. I've said that. Now, when it comes to that Unplugged Jay-Z performance, he said, allegedly, according to him, Jay-Z did not ask for her to perform. The Roots that she was a part of, that's how she got on that performance. He said he's never said anything bad about her. He's kept it professional, even though she treated him bad back in the 2000s. But he said in 2014, Jaguar was arrested for kidnapping her own child. Through a series of emails and GoFundMe's, she asked him and other people for bail money. Now, she said she's been to jail. He said the same exact behavior she's trying to shame people on, she participated in. The slut shaming, the gay bashing, and she's also assaulted other Black women, he said. He's been accused of harassing women and bullying them. He says no one has interviewed him, It is a lie started by some woman named Maya Moody, and her and Jaguar are supporting each other. Okay. Um, he then said Jaguar has called his newborn son a trick baby. He said he has called Jaguar has called the mother of his son a trick. How is that protecting other black women by calling them trick? He said Maya Moody started a GoFundMe and accused him of being sexual violent with Jaguar Wright when Jaguar was sexually violent towards him. He then said she changed it from 20K to 15K and said that it was for legal support. She raised the 15K and he said good for her. But where's the lawsuit? He said. He said it's easy to find him and that she stole the 15K from y'all and y'all weren't paying any attention. Okay. He said that people are just looking for tea. Um, they're taken away from the artists that really believe in Black Lives Matter. And he is standing for justice. He said, if you believe Jaguar, unfollow him. He said he sends love to Diddy and Christopher Williams that she's made allegations about. He said, rest in peace to Andre Harrell and Malik B. And he said he had love for the Roots, Common, Erica Badu, Jill Scott, and Moni Love. And these are all people that Jaguar has put on blast. Along with them, there's also Tiffany Haddish, who she apologized to. Tevin Campbell, like I said, he was tweeted. Mary J. Blige, Alicia Keys, Whitney Houston, Clive Davis. Just today, she Instagram and tagged J-Lo. That's the new one on the list. Will and Jada Smith, Marcus Houston, and Chris Stokes. Lil Dave, what do you think about that?
So let me just backpedal. In regards to Jaguar, if this really is a mental issue, because I know that mental health is important, and maybe she does have some issues. And if that's the case, she just needs some help. But just the way she's going about things is ridiculous. And I know she's talked about a lot of people, but one of the one that stuck out the most to me was this most recent J-Lo one. All I kept thinking to myself is, why do you care? This woman has gone on and been married multiple times since the situation that you're speaking about. And beyond that, you keep saying shine. So if I'm not mistaken, there was a situation in a club with Shine and Puffy, and J-Lo was there. And it turned into a shootout. And because J-Lo didn't feel comfortable with the way that things went, she broke it off with Puffy. So what exactly, you keep mentioning that situation and then saying, why didn't you tell on Puffy? What exactly is she supposed to be telling? That he shot up the club? That was on the news. We all saw that. So what are you talking about? And then she goes on to talk about a marriage with Mark, was it Mark Anthony? And she steady saying, like, you know, y'all made beautiful babies and blah, 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 blah. Like, she just rambling on and on and on. At the end of the day, I say to her, like I tell everybody else, I'm looking at you as you're talking. And I'm thinking to myself, I could see 100 things that you could be talking about you as opposed to always talking about somebody else. Let's start with, I hope, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to be nasty. The bottom line is you need help. You need help. You need to get you some business, and you need to find a better way to become relevant. Because the way that you're becoming relevant right now is very negative. I guess the only thing that I can think is that she's wanting to profit off of social media because, you know, these social media platforms pay you if you get so many views on these videos or whatever. So maybe she's wanting to profit that way. But my thing is, if you had came in with a more positive way of doing this, maybe a label would have wanted to pick you back up. Like everybody that talks about you speaks on the fact that you are a phenomenal singer, a phenomenal talent overall. So Why not put your name out there in a positive light? Let these same people speak on you and get you a label to pick you up and get you another album out there. That's a lot more money than what social media is going to pay you. You know what I mean? And then at the
Even
same
with
time,
the she's not on her platform. She's on YouTubers, other people platforms, which is benefiting them. Now, I looked her up on YouTube. She has a channel. I don't know if it was started by the record label or somebody, but it's not even active. This is my thing is if she's saying the Shine thing, like trying to say he took the rap or maybe J-Lo knows something, um, to me, that's irrelevant. If
yes,
you're
it is.
saying you're exposing the industry, talk about, to me, how a lot of bad boy artists like the Lots had deals with Puffy, right? He
Mm-hmm.
had their publishing for a long time and they had to fight him to get their publishing back. To me, that's exposing the industry. Now, something that Talib said and something that other people are saying is that she's talking about sort of like people's sexual escapades. It's
Exactly.
not exposing anything. It's just saying when she's saying Alicia Keys and Mary Blige, J. Blige, oh, they might be bisexual, they might be gay. How is that helping anybody? She said herself that she was bisexual. What does people's sexual escapades have to do with exposing anything? And that's my thing. If you're talking about like artists like TLC and Tony Braxton that were signed to the Facebook and had deals where they had to file for bankruptcy,
Yeah.
they were on like LaFace and Erica. Erica is a huge company. That's something you could talk about exposing the industry, how to get people better record deals. But if you're just talking about sexual escapades and Tevin Campbell allegedly is saying, I could sue you because you're saying allegedly he was a prostitute on Hollywood Boulevard. How is
Mm-hmm.
that exposing the industry? You're just talking about sexual things.
So let me
And
ask you: Have you heard her say that she's exposing the industry? Because I've heard everybody else say that. I haven't specifically heard her say that. Has she said that?
not to that effect, but
Okay.
people are seeing what she's doing is
Yeah.
exposing the industry. But to me, she's not exposing anything. She just keeps saying it's going to be revealed or
Right.
allegedly she might have a book. But if you're just talking about stuff, and this is just me being serious, people don't have to agree with it. It's my opinion. Corinne Steffens, Superhead, her nickname, she wrote a book. That's the kind of stuff Jaguar is talking about, baby. As far as helping the industry, exposing it, you're just piggybacking, gossiping, and throwing out outlandish stuff. That's just
And
what.
the reason that Superhead made it the way that she made it was she never tried to act like she was doing anything to help anybody. She made it very clear. I'm just putting it out there what I've seen and what I've been through inside of the industry. And she didn't play herself as no victim. I liked what I did. I came up from it. I drove nice cars. I lived in nice homes. Quiet as kept. I wanted to take notes, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, she wasn't trying to play victim in it. This girl is trying to act like, her whole life is just in shambles because of these people. If your life, if you've been like this all the time, it's a wonder you made it as far as you did. Like you just being super negative, and it makes no sense. And then the things that you're talking about ain't none of your business. It is what it is. If you wanted to talk about J Lo, if you felt like J Lo was in so much pain and she needed to say something, why you didn't call her and have a conversation with her? With the way social media is made up, it's nothing to reach out to anybody, and you can go inside of her DMs or IMs or whatever and say whatever you wanted to say. But instead, you blast it to the whole world. You ain't trying to help nobody. You just trying to be rude and ignorant, and that's exactly what you've done. And I don't have nothing for you.
So I just don't think everybody's gonna respond to it. The people that have, that's it. That's what it is. And I had to bring somebody else to give a different opinion. Not that he has to agree with me or anybody has to, but you need more than one perspective. And
Yeah.
I keep saying her narrative is changing because when she was on the interview with Storm Monroe and he asked her about Talib Kweli, she didn't say anything except, "You like my nails, Talib?" You didn't talk about the same outlandish stuff. That story changed. When the story changed, baby, I ain't got nothing for you. So let's roll over into another sizzling Sunday that Lil Dave gave me LisaRaye and DaBrat. Dave, when I say I had to watch that a good 10 times, what did you think about LisaRaye and DaBrat?
So the crazy part is I was at work. I was working. And typically when I'm at work, I try to find something, whether it be music or a video, a movie or something like that, just to kind of listen to while I'm typing. And I looked down and I saw LisaRaye. Now, I love me some LisaRaye. Like, when she was diamond inside of the Players Club, she was my idol. Like, yeah. So when I saw her, I was like, okay, let me, see what's going on. And then Selena Johnson face was up there, which I am a Selena Johnson fan to the day I die. She's from Harvey, Illinois, which is basically a suburb of Chicago. I'm always repping that. So, yeah, I see these faces and I'm like, okay, yeah, I definitely need to get into this. Oh, and Claudia Jordan, the reading queen. So, yeah, I had to get into it. So when I click on it, it just seemed like a really innocent thing. They were wishing LisaRaye happy birthday. So I didn't know it was LisaRaye's birthday. So I was really intrigued, like, oh, it's her birthday, let's see what they're going to do for her. So they started talking about how they had this guest or whatever. And that, like, when they started introducing, she's a Grammy Award winner, I already knew that was going to be the brand. So now I'm thinking, like, okay, this is going to be an emotional moment. So let me stop what I'm doing. So I stopped working, put myself on break, or what, Lord, I hope my boss ain't listening because I wasn't supposed to do that. But nonetheless, I put myself in a break and I'm like, I got to see what's going on here. When I tell you, I'm not going to get into the details because I'm sure you're going to go into that. But when LisaRaye started talking, when I tell you, my brother was here visiting and he was staying here, my mouth was just hung open. So he came to my bedroom door like, what's going on? And I was like, oh, no. I'm not going to tell you. I need you to see this. So as I'm rewinding it for him to watch it, I'm like, I got to tell Jay to hurry up and go ahead and do his review on this because this right here is off the chain. Like, but let me say this. I totally understood Lisa's point. I understood that she was hurt. And I already know that she ain't the most, she's not the most pretty, want to be proper, want to be elegant woman. Like, she hood, she owns that. So I didn't expect anything different from her. When a person is hurt, ain't nobody worried about trying to be appropriate for television or nothing like that. She gave it to her exactly how she felt. And for you to be so close to somebody all your life, this is your sister at that, and y'all that close, and now all of a sudden, you want to cut her off about something that she's been supportive of you all your life about, because you claim she, she say what she wants to, she don't care about other people's feelings. That ain't never been a problem before, and even if it was a problem, you continue to talk to her. But in this situation, one of the biggest reveals of your life, you chose to shut her out and talk to the world before talking to her. I would have been devastated. So I totally understood exactly where she was coming from, and honestly, I don't think she went in on her enough. I think she held back on her.
I mean, I agree with her. Like, a lot of people say, oh, she's hood, or oh, she's too outspoken. I think she's just real. I think she's a straight shooter. And people, to me, if a situation, like, me and you are friends, we know stuff about each other.
Yeah.
If that would have been us, you would have already knew, because you know my moves and you already know, hey, right. But I do think, like, her and those ladies are friends. I'm not sure about her and Claudia. I know her and Vivica have come up in the industry together. But to me, if somebody's having a moment, even if you say, oh, I love this person, so when it's between them two people, guess what J.Evans gonna do? Shut the up. To
Especially
me,
because they were sisters.
Yeah, they're sisters, but when they kept jumping into it, saying, like, Vivica, oh, you should have called her, she was like, I have. She said that DaBrat knew that. That's what made her just be like, shut the Y'all don't know
Right.
what y'all talking about. She know. When she did that, I was like, Diamond, get out the dressing room, everybody. Pow, pow, get out the dressing room because she was giving the smoke. But I was for her realness because
Absolutely.
if you ain't been talking to me, all of a sudden now you on the show saying happy birthday to me, why would you do that?
But if you notice, DaBrat just shut up. And she shut up for two reasons. I'm very clear on. She shut up because she knew her ass was wrong. And I'm not supposed to be saying profanity words, forgive me. And she also shut up because she knew not to play with her sister. It's very clear the roles inside of that sisterhood. She knew not to play with her. Because when I tell you she shut down, she shut down. She not only did she not say nothing, she didn't even have a facial expression for her. Like
It
she was
sounded
just
like she was fine. Like she sounded tearful in the end.
she should have been. You are like they said, a multi-platinum award winning, and this person that you've now gotten engaged to is a huge internet sensation within herself, millionaire, like, and it's in a circle with a bunch of other millionaires. So you knew the moment this happened, you knew it was gonna blow up, and so the whole world gets to know, and I don't. And like LisaRaye said, like that I'm a celebrity, so people are asking me questions, and all I can say is, well, if she's happy, then I am, because I don't know nothing. That's not cool. So I was with all of it, and but like you said, with all them girls doing all that, well, maybe, well, you should. Well, I would say the same thing. Just shut up. Like it's one thing for me and my friend to be like, if me and you were going back and forth and people wanted to chime in, that would still piss me off. But okay, whatever. But my sister, oh, you're not gonna do that. Cause we've been knowing each other since birth. Y'all just came into this situation. There's nothing you can tell us about each other. You know what I mean? So I get it. I totally get it. And I agree with everything she did. Like I said, I think she should have done a little bit more. Me personally.
Now I think like LisaRaye came back and said that was like, well, will you talk to her? Will you forgive her? She was like, yeah, that's my sister. I think
Yeah,
they're gonna work it out. They're gonna be fine, baby. So what we think don't even matter. But she
absolutely.
had. Now let's roll into this news break. This Tuesday was the first presidential debate. I don't call that man's name. I just say 45. Okay, 45 and Biden had their debate. Now it was a lot of bickering. To me, the moderator did not control it enough. He let 45 sort of bully and bogart his way, but he got to a point where he was like, 45, you and your people said we would have 2 minutes for each person and the other person would be silent.
Mhm.
It just was like the world saw how much of a bully this man was, even when they tried to get him to address white supremacy. He never addressed it. Okay. He did not full on address it. And then he mocked Joe Biden for wearing a mask. And as we all know, he now has coronavirus, him and Melania. And Biden's wife came up there with her mask on, and Melania did not. And they have coronavirus. What you
Allegedly.
thought about
They have
allegedly?
coronavirus allegedly. Because I don't believe that.
Allegedly. You don't
Um,
believe?
I don't believe that. And I'm nobody's psychic. I'm not the end all that be alls. My mouth is not the Messiah, so I could be wrong. But I don't believe that. And I'm entitled to my opinion. For all you folks that's gonna comment on this video, listen, I'm not the one you want to do that with, because my tongue is lethal and I'm coming back. I will be in the comments watching.
My
Understand that this is
on the
just simply
video.
my opinion, and you got yours and I got mine. I respect yours, respect mine, and let's leave it there. I don't believe it, period. The bottom line is, my biggest issue with that debate was this. Um, Trump was being Trump. Nobody should have expected anything more or less from him. This is what he does. Hell, at the end of the day, we can't be surprised we let a reality TV star become our president. I mean, he lives for drama. But at the end of the day, I felt like Biden was up there so busy trying to be appropriate, or what people expect from him because he's in front of the public, that he didn't really get his point across. And at some point, you have to take off the gloves and say, if you going dirty, then nigga, let's get in the mud. It is what it is. And I just don't feel like he did that. And because of that, he didn't really make his point either. And one thing about Trump, say what you will, he does act a fool. He does, over talk and all of that, but his point was made. His point was made. So you don't think his point was made?
Let me tell you what he messed up.
Okay.
His point wasn't made. A lot of analysts that watched that, and a lot of people like me, saw him come off as a bully, which was a big turnoff. They saw him being childish, which was a big turnoff. But then the moment that messed him up, when he was mocking Joe Biden's son and said the thing about, well, you gave him a job, he's a druggie, he had a drug problem, that was the wrong move. And I'm going to tell you why. There's millions of people out there that have had drug problems. And the way that Joe Biden addressed that is he acknowledged it. He said, yes, he did. And my son, he overcame it. How many millions of people in this world have had a drug problem, had a loved one with a drug problem? That's where you stuck your foot in your mouth, because we are all human and we all have different vices. So to say, to me, he shot himself in the foot with that.
So here's the thing. I don't disagree with anything that you said, but I didn't say he made good points. We know he ain't gonna make good points because we know he ain't got enough sense to. But the point that he was making, whether good or bad, he made it. And Joe Biden was so busy trying to play by the rules, letting him speak, that there was a lot of points that he didn't get to make. You get what I'm saying? I'm not agreeing with what he said was stupid, but that's just Trump. But what he said, we heard it. It was a lot of things we didn't hear from Biden because he was too busy trying to play by the rules. Take the gloves off. Throw the rule book in the swamp somewhere. Get in the mud with him. Get your point across. We need to hear you. That's all I'm saying. I don't agree with nothing he was saying.
Sometimes you let a fool be a fool by themselves, and I think he shot himself in the foot. Now, what they need to do, they need to call J.Evans and they need to call Lil Dave, because we need to moderate that thing, because as soon as he says something, I'm turning off the mic. Be quiet, 45, Biden, let's roll. The moderator needs to grab control, because if I was moderating that thing, United States, call J.Evans. I promise you, baby, that mic would be snatched and his hair would be redid, because it's atrocious.
I didn't understand, because we're living in this pandemic time, right? With the pandemic going on right now, and everything seems to be going through Zoom calls, it just seems to me like that would have been the perfect situation for this debate. The moderator would have had control of muting people and making sure that, everybody stays. Like, it was perfect. So why they did it the way that they did it, I have no idea. Now, let me say this, and this is totally off point, but I was driving around in a city here in Dallas. I won't go into what city it is because I don't want nobody trying to sue me. When I tell you, I guess I was just naive, or maybe you would say ignorant, to just how much support Trump has. I knew in the beginning when he won that there were a lot of people that were supporting him. But with all that has gone on throughout his reign, so to speak, I just knew that people had wised up. I rode through this neighborhood, and when I tell you 80% of the yards had Trump signs in it, and one yard, the lady's house had pillars in front of it. And one pillar said 2020, and the other pillar said Trump. And so now I'm in amazement. But then I turned the corner. When I turned the corner, there were food trucks and a whole party going on. And it was a lady in the middle of the street. And when I rolled up, she said to me, asked me to roll down my window, and I rolled down my window, and she said to me, "We're having a Trump party. Come out and get on the right side. Are you a Trump supporter?" So that I didn't say the wrong thing, all I could think to do was to let up my window and drive off. But I just don't understand how people are still supportive of this man. I don't get it. Like, he has been blatantly just stupid. And this is just my opinion, but I really don't get it. But that debate, I have to stick with, and I hear you. Let a fool be a fool by themselves. But if you have to, I'm not telling you to act a fool, but get your point across. This was a debate. We're like right at time to vote. This was your time to make whatever points you needed to make. We need to hear from you. We know we don't want to vote for him, but let us know we're gonna be safe voting for you. Right now, I think I think that a lot of people are in a place of we not voting for Donald, so Biden is the only other choice. Those people that are wanting to vote for him or whatever. But my thing is, it would be nice if you had got all your points across where we can honestly say we agree with the things that you're saying. You know what I mean? We agree with what you stand for, and this is the reason why we're going to vote for you. And I don't feel like he got that accomplished because he let Donald Trump with his antics overpower him.
So, Little Dave think Biden, you have to be a little more aggressive. I'm gonna say this. A lot of people are raised in their household, and some people, because I'm not gonna say all, but that's how they choose their party, their religious beliefs, how they were raised.
Yeah.
Some people stray away from that and they just go whichever way. I'm just gonna say this: vote. No matter what, whoever
Yes.
you vote for, just get out there and vote. Let your voice be heard. Now, somebody has to lose. That's just the way it is. And some people say, well, I'm not going to vote because my vote don't count. Yes, it does. But when you start saying your vote does not count and you don't vote, guess what? You don't count. Somebody has to lose and somebody has to win. But as long as you cast your vote, you'll
You
be
said it.
heard. And I'm so let's roll into this Let's Review. And this is on a fantastic album, baby. This album is by LaBelle. It is the Nightbirds album. Now, let me tell you why I'm reviewing this album and why it's great. Since we just talked about voting, LaBelle has a song on this album called What Can I Do For You? It's about social and political commentary. It's about a sign of the times. Now, this album LaBelle did with producer Alan Toussaint. Their manager Vicky Wickham took them in a new direction. As you all know, this is Patti LaBelle in this group. It's also Sarah Dash and Nona Hendricks. Okay, LaBelle started off as the Bluebills. They had Cindy Birdsong. She left and went to the Supremes, baby. Now, when she left, they became a trio. When they became a trio, they started a new sound. This whole album and this whole sound took them in a different direction. They had a glam rock look. They had Lady Marmalade that hit number one. Okay, it was I think a million selling single, and it got them out of debt. But this album is important because LaBelle, to me, vocally, there are a lot of girl groups, and girl groups were singing sweet doo-wop stuff. But when they rolled this out in the 70s, baby, these all three of these sisters are some singers, and they have voices that will nail you to the wall. If you need to nail your pictures to the wall, put on this LaBelle album, baby. It also has It Took a Long Time. That's the song Impressions that's playing at the end. If y'all don't know that song, it also has You Turn Me On, which is sort of like a rock kind of soul song. But LaBelle experimented with their sound. I have their albums, and this is the album that put them on the map. So what you need to do, go to a record store and buy this album, or if you're into digital and downloads or CDs, go buy this album while you go vote and play What Can I Do For You? because that's the song where they go in, baby, on every. It's about sex. It's about drugs. It's about a sign of the times, and it is an empowering song. And like I said, even if you need to hang a picture and you are out of nails, turn on these soul singers, baby, because they can sing, not sing, but sing you down to the ground. So that was my review on the LaBelle album. I love it. What do
Well,
you
can
think
I ask
about
you a
LaBelle?
question real quick? Well, I don't listen. I don't know nothing about the LaBelles. I kind of Googled them. I saw that it was like a Nona, Sarah, and Patty. That's all I know. But I guess my question for you is, of course, that wasn't really a part of your era. So, what prompted you to? How do you know so much about them? I guess is my question.
Well, I love music. Like, that's what got me on YouTube. I've had a YouTube channel since 2009, right? I never
Okay.
really put anything on there. I put like one video 4 years ago, and then I just started saying in July, let me start doing videos.
Right.
But for me, my grandmother raised me.
Right.
We used to have to go to church Lil Dave so much. I thought the church was our house. Like we was in church that much. So I always heard music. And then my grandmother had like a lot of Motown albums, like the albums with the blue Motown disc, and she had like a lot of Atlantic record albums, and there's the rate. And then she had stacks. So I always grew up around music. I loved it. And I always had like the freedom to listen to whatever I wanted to, like even rap and hip hop stuff.
Mm.
My grandma never stopped me. And then my mom, I would still, go over my mom's house.
Yeah.
My mom, like, rock and pop. Like, she had Bruce Springsteen, David Bowie, Bill Bailey. So I just grew up around music, and I always do it and loved it. Now, I can't sing, baby. I can't lip sync my life, but I can find you a good album, baby. So
Okay.
that's what I love music.
Okay. That's
So
all I have on it.
well, even if you don't have much on LaBelle, Patty can blow.
Oh yeah.
And these like most groups have like a strong lead singer, or they might have somebody else that can carry a tune, but can they put it in a bucket? Question. But these three sisters, they can all blow you out the lake, baby. So that's why this album is important. It was like their big hit album, and then they dropped two more and they broke up. And it wasn't until like 2000 and I think like 9 or 10 that they released the album. So y'all go listen to LaBelle.
Okay, so one other point. So you made a
Yeah.
great point. I would love for you to come back and do another video. I would be interested in knowing what caused the breakup.
Of LaBelle?
Because we know Patti LaBelle to be this huge um, her personality is like really big, and it can come off different ways to different people. You don't think so?
No, they had been singing together so long, and they all wanted to go like in different directions because musically, LaBelle does like soul, they've done rock, they've done like funk. They all wanted to go in different directions, and they just had like kind of outgrew each other and just needed to be on their own. It wasn't like drama; it's just that they were just ready to go off on their own.
So okay. Well, even with that, so like we know Patti LaBelle, did well on her own clearly, but the Nona and Sarah, like, and I'm not, I don't really know music in that time because I'm not really into music like that. Right now, in my car, right now, if I turn on my car, City Girls will probably come on. That's my thing. So, I would just love to know, like, did they go anywhere with their careers? Like, you know what I mean? Did they take off at all with their solo careers? So that would be something for you to come back and do.
I know it, so yeah, we'll touch into that.
Okay, cool. And that's all.
So I want to thank Lil Dave for doing this video with me. You can click the description. Is other videos that I've done. Hit that subscribe button so you can be one of my apple pies. And you can send me alerts or send me things you want me to talk about, like my apple pie Dave did. So with that being said, it's only one thing left for us to say. We've talked the talk. Now it's time to walk the walk. Dave, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Bye, y'all.
Oh my God.